Trump said he made great progress with the pooter. That's good news. I like it. Progress is good. Somebody said earlier, what should Trump not, because we were talking about Israel and it's going to fall apart. Of course it was going to fall apart. It's going to fall apart and they'll put it back together. It's going to fall apart. This is a generational thing. This is a thing where it is going to take years to fix it. But, Trump could do all that he can, and he should have celebrated. But then you got to get to the real work, and the real work is I've yet to see them lining up from other countries that were there for the signing to tell everybody how many people they're sending over to go keep the peace in Israel. You've yet to see that. I mean, they're allowing food in, but Israel stopped it for a while. I mean, it's 2 steps forward, 3 steps back, 5 steps forward, 2 steps back. It's going to take time. Celebrate, move on. And this week, talking to the pooter, says he's going to meet with the pooter in Hungary. Orban. Trump. Orban's a great guy. He's fantastic. One of the good ones. One of the good Hungarians. Wasn't Bela Lugosi Hungarian?
I don't know.
I thought he was Romanian.
Was he Romanian? No, he's not. He's not a vampire. I don't know.
Yes, he was.
Well, he was.
Didn't he play Frankenstein too?
No, that was
Boris Karloff.
Yeah, he's Roman. Yeah, you're right. He was born in Lugii. Who was the Hungarian actor? That was Karloff? Yeah, he couldn't stand Karloff, by the way, because he thought his Karloff could speak. He had, he's British. Hello there. And that drove him crazy because Bella struggled with his accent. It was so thick. And,
I bet you Lon Chaney would whip them both.
Oh, Lon Chaney. But Boris was very much hello, I'm Shakespeare. Hello, Shakespeare. By the way, we got a lot of texts coming in about the shoulder pads. So we said last hour, because I said John Bolton looks like he was a guy that wears these, like professors used to wear, the jackets with the patches on the elbows for whatever reason. And then we brought up shoulder pads. And a lot of people said that it had to do with power, like a status. It showed that you were bigger, you were stronger. I don't know if that's true. I don't know why that was weird. Nobody went, you know what I'd like in a woman? Giant shoulders.
Big shoulders. I like a handsome woman.
I do too. Maybe some traps.
Did any guy ever look at a woman and go, her hair's not big enough?
A lot of you chiming in because we're talking about inflation. We were talking earlier about the data centers and how they're going to eat up everything because AI is not a candle. And it is not a small little flashlight. AI is every one of those data centers is like a city. And I was watching Sagar and Genti today, who does a show called Breaking Points, talking about how expensive it is in Maryland, or maybe it was yesterday, that their prices in the last year, because they've added data centers, has gone from like $150 to like $300-$400. Because there's so many of those data centers, and it's in Virginia. And it's going to get, and somebody said, why not? Nuclear would be great. Somewhere out there. And this is the thing, that the wackadoo climate change people don't get. Nuclear is safe. It's clean. We know how to dispose of it. We are trying to fix whatever climate thing you're worried about with stuff that really doesn't do anything. Nuclear would be awesome. I'm not afraid of nuclear. Would I like it next to my house? No, but it's out in the middle of godforsaken nowhere. I'm okay. But what are we going to do? I mean, think about you could power so many things. What about 3 Mile Island? That was a long time ago. Just because you have a bad steak doesn't mean you don't eat steak again. Right? Just because we had an issue with 3 Mile Island doesn't mean you don't go, okay, can we do it better now? Isn't that how you learn?
Yeah, and the safety technology's improved immensely.
Yeah, we've gotten a smidge better. Just a tiny bit better on this. But we're not, because people are going to fight it And they're going to get, and you know who else? You know what's funny? Everybody say, who funds these things? You know who funds a lot of these things? You'd be surprised who do you think would fund the greenies against fossil fuels? Against nuclear? Do you think fossil fuels might throw money at that? They would, yeah. They don't want that to go away unless they're the ones who get to build it. But if we had nuclear, how much better would it be? How cheap would everything be? And it would be clean.
I like the word cheap.
I like the word cheap, too. So, I love the word cheap. People chiming in here. One person said, oh, things are great. And the other 50 that have been texting in are saying, yeah, no. And what they're saying is fuel's gone down a little bit. But no matter what's come down a little bit, the cost of food is outpacing everything. And it is. Man, I tell my wife, we order online now for like, if we're going to do a Walmart order, because I know if we go there, we're going to do a couple impulse buys. Then you get up there and you're like, how much is this again? It's crazy. And so that's outpacing stuff. And people feel that. Because when they do these inflation things, they always take out the things like the cost of housing, fuel, and food, which are the things that eat up most of your check.
That you gotta have.
They always say, well, it's based on how much your socks cost 2 years ago. I don't wear socks. So how about those apples? I don't wear socks. Socks are kind of like, they're feet prisons.
We need a hot take on socks.
Oh, we do.
It's a very similar reason to why I don't wear underwear.
There you go. Exactly. Exactly. Oh, goodness me. Goodness me. Coming up. More good stuff on there. We'll talk a little bit more about inflation. Got a bunch of your text messages. Fallout continues from the horrible young Republicans. And I want to point out that the young Republicans aren't as young as they're making them out to be. But as bad as the young Republicans were, the people out there trying to justify or to blow this off is no big deal, also awful. Talk about that, among other things, straight ahead. Chad Benson Show, Super Talk 997. You see the guy that's mad at me because he says I don't like Trump? And I said, well, you talked about inflation. I never once mention Trump. I didn't make up the Harris poll. I mean, I would like to, but I didn't. I didn't make it up. I didn't say it was all Trump's fault. There's a lot of things in there.
If you would just stick to saying what people want to hear, everything would be fine.
Yeah. Yeah. And I don't know if you guys are aware of this. I don't do that. I want to know what the truth is. Why is everybody afraid of hearing something that may be not real? Like, he's all, you should cover Katie Porter. Or I did. I covered her. I covered her and Jay Jones. The guy that was the AG, well, still is the AG candidate, who said about the former Speaker of the House when he was in the House at the state level that his daughter should be killed, that if he was in a room with 2 bullets in his gun and there was Pol Pot and Hitler, he'd put 2 bullets in that guy's head instead of those 2. I covered him because that guy is a wackadoo.
To get a little bit off topic, it really amazed me how Katie Porter completely let the veneer drop. She totally let the mask come off because she tries to come across as like such a sweet, protective mother type. And then when a staff member steps into her shot, she turns into a total bitch.
She was such a bitch. She's horrible. And by the way, then her staff, once there was clear sailing when her staff could come out, the ones that used to work there, they're like, she's the worst.
You got the same kind of rep that Kamala did.
Yeah. Well, you know what? Except Katie's probably a little bit more put together as far as at least she can spit out a sentence or two. You know, Kamala was arguably the greatest candidate in the history of the world. My favorite thing she ever did is when she was on that Houston radio station and she was trying to explain Ukraine and Russia. And she's like, well, Ukraine is a country and Russia. Like she was looking at them, hoping that they were going to affirm that, yes, those two are country. And
she had the save me look on her face.
Does anybody know? Am I right? Does this sound like this? Sounds right. Am I right? And my other favorite thing when she says, this is the most election of our lifetime.
Until the next one.
Yeah. There's never not been an election. I still to this day, can you guys ever remember at any given time where you heard somebody was running for something who didn't say this was like the most important election ever? I can't.
Democracy is on the line.
Democracy is always democracy's on. Man, the democracy has been on the line for a long time.
Ever since it was born.
Yes. That was it. Now you guys have a democracy. Let's see if you can hold it. Let's even keep it. Go look in history, guys. Democracies have shelf lives. And we're a republic. That's why they didn't want a straight democracy, because eventually democracies fail because people realize they can vote themselves goodies and they fall apart. What they didn't foresee was reality television. And then that went sideways. But ever since it was born, man, this thing is it's always been touch and go. So, but I go after, look, if it's the truth, I want to know about it. If it goes against my beliefs, then you know what? I was wrong. Been wrong before. I will be wrong again. There was one perfect person, didn't end well. And I will be wrong again. But I'm not afraid to hear a different point of view, but it's got to be facts and data. I never said anything bad about Trump. Have I criticized him before? Hell yeah. Will I criticize him again? Yes. Why? Because he's not a deity. He's a person. Will I go after the left? I do all the time. I never hear anybody go, you shouldn't do that. You absolutely should. And how about holding your own responsible for the things that they do and calling them out for it? Because with these, they call the young Republicans kids. They're not kids. The ages are 18 to 40. Most of the people in this were in their mid-20s to 40 years old. You've passed the I'm a child, I made a stupid comment. And Matt Walsh came out, and what do they all do? They go, well, what about the thing that Jay Jones said? How about this? Both sides said horrible things. These guys sent 28,000 messages. The N-bomb, they dropped a bunch. They love Adolf Hitler. They want to see people get gassed. Praising rape and things of that nature. Oh, it's just a joke. It's what people will show you who they are when nobody's looking. So I love Tim Tebow. You ever see, like, when the lights aren't on?
Freaking love Tim Tebow.
Tim Tebow's over there, and he'll be signing autographs, hugging people, sitting there talking to people about their lives and their dreams. And there's no cameras. There's none of that stuff. Why? Because other people are filming it. He didn't know. And that's why that's a real, that right there, that's who shows me who he is. That guy's cool. He is. I mean, these people sent stuff that was vile. And it wasn't a joke, right? We know who jokes, right? Come on. They even knew we should put this stuff out there. We can get in trouble. One of them worked in the Small Business Administration. Several others worked at the local level of the states. And so, yeah, they should be called out. But just as much should be J.D. Vance for trying to, it's no big deal. Just a bunch of kids, Tim Pools, just a bunch of it wasn't just a bunch of college kids. Man, I'd love to be your kid. So let me get this right. If somebody else did something wrong and they have a D by their name, I can get in trouble and there's going to be no personal accountability needed? Do you really want that? I don't want that. Call out what you should be called out. They closed one of the offices, as they should. And this was not good. Look, but these are supposed to be the future of the Republican Party. That's the way this thing has been pitched. There's 15,000 Do they really feel that way? How many times, and here's the funny thing, as all of you guys get upset about this, every Wednesday we play a crazy progressive girl on here and make fun of her. I don't hear one of you go, you guys shouldn't do that. It's not very nice.
Oh, she did go to Brown.
She did go to Brown. There was that. No. Hold your own accountable. If my kid does something wrong, that's on my kid. It's not because another kid, well, they did something wrong too. Well, then that gives my kid, all the freedom in the world to do whatever he wants wrong. Or she. Charlie, I love you, baby, but come on, we know. We know. We absolutely know. Not trying to be mean. Put it out there. So, no, I don't hate Trump. I just want truth. That's all I care about. Truth. Facts, data. I don't care. By the way, parties are stupid because there's a party. They're corporations. It's Coke, it's Pepsi, it's red, it's blue. That's it. They're after the same thing. How can they spend your money and my money and everybody else's money helping their donors get their programs done? One side wants to spend it on what? The oligarchs and giving tax breaks to the wealthy. The other side wants to say, no, we shouldn't do that. We should pay for everything. Oh, by the way, all that everything, that's also run by my friends. We shouldn't be afraid to call them out. John Bolton expected to be indicted. Oh, everybody said, a couple people said, this was classified stuff that was in his book. Well, the thing is, if I'm correct, though, he had to go through and get all of that stuff. He had to get permission to publish that.
Yeah, that's the standard operating procedure, that if you're using anything that was formally classified, that you have to have their approval to use it.
So it's hard to say, because I mean, if that thing is, if they're really going to go after him for classified and some of that stuff in his book, then somebody approved that. Well, then that's not on him. That's not on him. That's on whoever approved it. You would think. They're going after him. They're going to get him. And I think there's definitely some more meat on the Bolton stuff, because he had some other stuff too. He had drawn up a whole bunch of plans in his dreams, things he wanted to do, places he wanted to conquer. Oh, he wants to conquer stuff. We were talking earlier about inflation. Like I said, inflation, life is more expensive. Jobs are getting a little bit tougher to find. People are holding on a little bit longer. Some of that's uncertainty. Tariffs are a big reason for that. We're in a trade war with China. I mean, there's some uncertainty there. No, this is not to throw Trump under the bus. That's just what it was. We can be critical. I don't know why everybody's afraid to be critical. You guys tell me how much I suck every day. I was talking to Belle, by the way. Tells me every day how much I suck.
That is a complete and utter lie.
Complete and utter lie. But we were asking you guys, and text into the program. You can hit us up on the YouTube as well. And tweet at me at Chad Benson Show. Do you feel ease? There's an ease coming with inflation. Do you feel better about the cost of life and where things are going? And a lot of you were like, look, I love Trump, but no, I don't feel that things are going great. This is not, by the way, inflation is not it started because of COVID. And then it supersized because of COVID, because we decided, it'd be great if we printed a whole bunch of money and handed it out to people. And then we printed more money and handed it out to businesses to tell their people not to come in. And once we did it the first time, Trump was right. We shouldn't have done it the second time. And he did. And then Biden came in. He's like, well, I'll raise you guys that. And I'll throw so much money at this that it'll make things go sideways. And you couple that with what was going on with, so many supply issues. And then things took off. And then we started living like we used to live, even though things have gotten more expensive. So, no, it's not a simple fix, but it's a question. And it's not about blame. It's about being honest. Let us know what you think. Tweet at us. You think things are better or not? It depends. I think there's some areas that things are better. The groceries are definitely not one of them. They're not. And they're I think we can all admit things are a little bit more expensive without feeling like, oh, I'm cheating on somebody if I say that. You're not. Oh, goodness me. Putin and Trump are going to hang out in Budapest. Going to go see their buddy Orban. He's the right mixture of authoritarianism with a pretend free will and market by that's what Orban is, I think, for a lot of people. Trump loves that guy. So we'll talk a bit about Trump and the Pooter getting ready to meet and Zelensky tomorrow. It's all happening, kids. We could have peace everywhere. Happen. I'd love that. And if it's Trump, great. Should be. Celebrate that. Chad Benson Show, Super Talk 99.7. I saw that Thune just said that he will guarantee a clean bill for them to vote on for Obamacare subsidies if they vote to, pass the CR. That's a continuing resolution, which is not a budget. We're just going on, last year's and the years before that and the years before that.
This is all continuation of Biden-era spending.
Yes, that's what it is. That's exactly what it is. We're just spending. They're just moving spending around in certain areas, and they're cutting some stuff off, and they're putting some money over here. But it's all, this is not anything new, which is what I thought the whole budget thing was supposed to be. It was supposed to be spring and new, and it's not. It's not new at all. Several of you chimed in. Some of you mad at me. But a lot of you are going, you know what, I like to hear, the truth. And one person did say next week he promised he will defend White Girl Wednesday.
Excuse you?
He's going to defend White Girl Wednesday.
Excuse you?
Yeah. Not me. I didn't
Excuse you. White Woman Wednesday,
gosh.
sir. The misogyny needs to stop.
So many patriarchal things going on over here. It was my cisgendered mannerisms. You guys know that. I got that from Ken. Ken's all cisgender. He's so heteronormative.
You guys get these words, man.
Oh, my.
Heteronormative.
Heteronormative. Cisgendered, heteronormative, Caucasian. You know what? I'm also, there are people of color, and, I'm people of white. I'm POW. Or people of Caucasian. Is that what that is? You liberals. You liberals. So, this lady just, okay, this lady moved to Spring Hill. She's a single mom of two. Her water bill was $60 on average the last couple of years. She just paid $237. No, the economy.
Did she have a leak?
The economy is not better than it was. Like, oh. That's not a slap on somebody. Everybody thinks, well, because you pointed out the obvious doesn't mean you dislike somebody. I don't know where people get that from. Well, you said something that made me uncomfortable because it might be true. And now that my entire identity is wrapped up in this, I must be offended. Don't do that. Don't wrap your identity up in this. No. Ooh, that was cool. Coming up. A lot of good stuff still. Maybe some more on Venezuela, more on inflation. Got some of your text message as well. Reach out to us. What do you think of inflation? Do you feel it's eased? Is it getting better, getting worse, kind of the same? Let us know. Reach out to us across all the social media. Chad Benson Show, Super Talk 997.